Okay, so again, I'm going to be giving my overall thoughts very early on here. They're going to have a little break. We're going to have a big old spoiler section, and then we'll wrap things up with trailers. Alright, you got it? Okay, so I am going to be giving Greta Gerwig's Barbie, the movie, an A. This is really spot-on commentary on the relevance of the Barbie line in the modern world, its importance to history, and how it can be changed to alter changing standards. If I do have a minor problem with it, and it is very, very minor, is that I do think the subplot with the Kens has kind of an uneven finish. It drags a little bit and gets a little repetitive towards the end as well. Again, those are very, very minor quibbles. I do wholeheartedly recommend you actually see this movie, even if you weren't necessarily into Barbies or are not into Barbies for other reasons. They do a really good job of addressing certain concerns, but also, like I said, pointing out what it can mean to certain things and to certain people, and that it can always be altered to change a altering landscape. So yeah, Barbie gets an A.
We're into fun clothes and fancy costumes. And we're forever into Costume Ball Barbie. Costume Ball Barbie's into gowns with a surprise. She's changing. She's turning into a butterfly. She's changing into a flower. Costume Ball Barbie, her look is always new. She's a princess. We're into 3 changes too. And that's for me and you. We're into Barbie.
Costume Ball Barbie doll has a gown with 3 changes and a mask for you. Costume Ball Ken doll sold separately.
Into breathtaking Ice-Capades Barbie.
Only you, Ice-Capades Barbie.
Ribbons in her hair.
Only you, Ice-Capades Barbie. Sparkles everywhere.
A practice outfit too.
You're the star of the show.
We're into Barbie.
Ice-Capades Barbie doll in leotard with a removable skirt. Ken doll sold separately from Mattel.
Okay, again, this is the big spoiler section, so skip to here if you wish to avoid everything. Okay? Alright then, so yeah, basically, with Barbie the movie, it follows Margot Robbie's character, who is, like, all the women are Barbies, all the men are Kens, except for, there are a few exceptions here, and then I'll get to them. But yeah, for the basic gist of everything, Margot Robbie is kind of not quite the original Barbie, but the idea of the original form of Barbie, for lack of a better term. She is stereotypical Barbie, the Barbie you just buy to buy a Barbie doll. You know, she isn't Scientist Barbie or Astronaut Barbie or anything else. Those are all different characters. You know, again, and in this, in Barbie Land, yes, that's what they call it, you know, the Barbies all have different jobs. There's Writer Barbie, President Barbie, there's several Judge Barbies, and to that effect. Kens are just kind of Kens. Like, there's, you know, Ryan Gosling's character is a beach Ken, but that's just all it is. Like, he's not even lifeguard Ken or surfer Ken, he's just beach Ken. And all the other Kens are just Kens. There's nothing that, except, again, with the one exception being Michael Cera, who is not Ken, but Alan. Yeah, so, and the idea is, Alan's like the other boy doll they made, but no one cares about. So yeah, there's just one Alan. Like, yeah, people don't care about Ken. People really don't care about Alan. Is what. Yeah, there's also a little bit to it as well. There's a, you know, very early on we see Skipper and Midge, who was Barbie's pregnant friend, who they discontinued because no one wanted a doll that was pregnant. It was just constantly pregnant. So yeah, and Margot Robbie is, again, stereotypical Barbie is what they say. You know, she's just the one in the Malibu dream house. She has fun. She hangs out with Ken. She hangs out with her other Barbie friends. They have slumber parties and everything. And part of the relationship with Ken is he is in love with Barbie and she knows it, but she does not reciprocate. She just wants to be friends with him. And that's where things do kind of take a bit of a dark turn later because of that. And then somehow in the middle of one of her celebrations, Barbie starts worrying about death and asking if people ever think about it. And then other things start happening, like her feet go flat to the floor. She doesn't walk on her toes anymore. She gets cellulite on her thighs. She starts to worry a bit more. You know, she burns her toast. She realizes there's no water in her shower and stuff like that. And the other Barbies say, well, you should go talk to Weird Barbie, who is the Barbie doll that got played with a little too hard and had her hair cut and set on fire, and you know, they put makeup paint all over her, and that's Kate McKinnon's character. And she says, okay, well, something's happened. You and your original owner have gotten bonded somehow, and that's opened up a portal to the real world, so you need to take these various Mattel vehicles on this ramp to go to Los Angeles to try to track down your original owner and see what's going on with her and see if she can set things straight. And as that happens, Ken winds up tagging along, so they get to Los Angeles, and some shenanigans ensue, but along the way, they start to realize, because in Barbie Land they think, well, girls play with Barbie dolls, so girls learn from Barbie, and thus women are on equal footing with men, and, you know, it's obviously not true. You know, and Barbie even finds out herself. She gets rounded up by the Mattel Corporation because apparently something like this had happened before with a skipper who wound up in Florida and taught a 4-year-old to surf. And so, you know, realizes like all the people who make decisions behind Barbie are just men. And there's this character played by America Ferrera, whose name I did not get. But yeah, she's designing Barbies, but you know, she doesn't get to pitch them because, again, only men get to decide what women want. And along the way, like I said, she and Ken get separated, and Ken winds up, you know, noticing like, wow, guys here get a lot more stuff than they do in Barbie Land. And he reads up on patriarchy, and he starts thinking, oh, we need to do patriarchy in Barbie Land, so that way because again, the idea is no one cares about Ken. Like I said earlier, when I said no one cares about Ken, that's basically what Mattel thinks. Like, you know, Ken is just there to be Ken and no other reason. Which is why, yeah, they all kind of act the same way. They don't, yeah. The Barbies can all act a little differently here and there because, you know, again, one is scientist Barbie, one is astronaut Barbie, one is teacher Barbie, one is president Barbie. You know, so you're getting that idea. But the Kens are all just Kens. They just do the same thing. They just go, hey, Barbie, and then they go to the beach, they stand around, you know, they play volleyball or something, and then that's it. And then, so, yeah, like I said, Ken, Ryan Gosling's Ken, who I'm just going to keep calling Beach Ken, keeps, you know, he reads up on patriarchy, and he says, oh, we need, and then that way the Barbies will like us for more than what we are. And as Barbie is dealing with the Mattel Corporation, he winds up going back to Barbie Land with all these ideas of patriarchy. Barbie gets rescued by America Ferrera's character and America Ferrera's daughter, who's named Sasha, who Barbie had tried to connect with earlier, but then ran Barbie down for all the things. You know, you portray bad body image for women. You put your unhealthy ideals. You know, not even physical ideas, but also mental ideals, professional ideals. The idea that, again, you can just be a woman and not have to deal with, you know, harassment or anything like that. Not to mention, you know, the ecological damage you've done with all the plastic and the boxes and stuff like that. And it's like, and it turns out that the America Ferrera character, I never got her name. That's the one problem. Is actually Barbie's original, the Margot Robbie Barbie's original owner. And as her daughter is becoming a teenager and asserting herself more, she tried to give the Barbie away at a Goodwill, and America Ferrera took it back and started playing with it again, and started doing these kind of modern, contemporary Barbies with, you know, depression Barbie, you know, things about death Barbie, cellulite Barbie, you know, midlife crisis Barbie. In fact, there's even a joke toy commercial in the middle of it for depression Barbie. And it's like, you know, just gonna watch, you know, Colin Firth and Pride and Prejudice again. Yeah, anxiety Barbie. And yeah, but once they realized that, they said, "Oh, I can take you back to Barbie Land. I can show you how great it is." And And, you know, it can show you that it's not, you know, I don't intend to harm people. I'm trying to make things right. And they go back there, and of course, Ken has made it there before them and introduced patriarchy. He's taken over the Malibu dream houses and calling them Mojo Dojo Casa houses. Not realizing that 3 of those words also mean house. They're, yeah, like I said, they're basically now just bro douches. They somehow brainwashed all the Barbies into being subservient to them. They're all focused on horses for some reason. Yeah, sorry, a little coughing fit there. Anyway, they're all the Barbies are all subservient to them. They're focused on horses for some reason, and it's like, you know, it's all, you know, like I said, bro douches, and they all start singing "Push" by Matchbox 20 because, you know, I wanna push you around, and so it's like, and it starts to, they're like, what happened? Why are you doing this? And, you know, Barbie finally confronts Ken and says, why are you doing this? I thought, you know, this isn't right. You're not supposed to be acting this way. And he said, oh, so you want me to go back in where you just ignore me like I don't exist? Like, you know I care about you, and yet you've never, you know, when are you going to fall in love with me? Like, isn't that the whole point? Like, we're supposed to be, you know, in a relationship. And, yeah, it says, if you don't want it, you know, get out of here. And it kind of breaks Barbie emotionally, and she kind of gives up, and it's then that the weird Barbie finds her, brings her back. She has a few discontinued Barbie models and a few discontinued Kens as well, including Alan on her side, where it's like, yeah, this isn't right, and, you know, the Kens are going to be holding a special election to basically take over Barbie Land and rename it Kendom. And so they have to go around and try to figure out how to deprogram the brainwashed Barbies. All the while, this is actually having an effect in the real world too, because suddenly out of nowhere, Ken toys start taking off. Mojo Dojo Casa houses are the hottest toys in the market. And the executives realize that now they have to get back to Barbie Land because they know Barbie Land exists. And so you have Will Ferrell, and the idea is, again, you have to ride all these Mattel vehicles, so you have to take the jet ski and the tandem bicycle and the camper and the snowmobile, and it's like, and so it's just all these guys in business suits riding around on a pink tandem bicycle and pink rollerblades, because like, that's just the best part. Like, those are the funniest parts of the movies. It's just where the guys are acting, and it's like they're trying to be, you know, tough, manly men, but it's like, yeah, we couldn't actually afford weapons. We don't have weapons, so all we have are, like, frisbees. But yeah, basically, what it takes is the America Ferrera character to kind of talk about, you know, yeah, like, it stinks to be a woman. Like, it's great to be a woman, but it stinks to be a woman. It's the dichotomy of this. Like, you're supposed to be a strong, firm boss, but you're not supposed to be mean. You're supposed to be, you know, you're supposed to, you know, be strong and independent, but you're also supposed to marry and have kids. And you're not supposed to want to have kids, but then when you do have kids, you're supposed to want kids, and you're supposed to want to be good for them. And you get this whole thing about, you know, that, yeah, because life is hard, and it takes a lot of work, but that doesn't mean, you know, what you're doing is necessarily wrong. If that makes any sense. Yeah. Now, granted, I could see ways where that could maybe be misinterpreted. Like, again, I do think this is kind of a whole thing on the whole girl boss culture that was big a few years ago. Yeah, where you are pointing that out. But, yeah, where, again, like, you're supposed to be this competent, you know, smart, strategic boss, but then you're not supposed to be mean and abuse your employees. But sometimes you have to kind of be mean. You have to, if an employee is making trouble, you have to fire them, and that means you're being mean to them, aren't you? Yeah, like, you're supposed to be tough, but you're supposed to be caring. You're supposed to be, you know, you're supposed to point out problems, but you're not supposed to be annoying about it. You're not supposed to pep up when people are having fun. You're not supposed to, like, okay, I know I'm getting repetitive. But in a way, this kind of comes back on the Kens as well, because as I said before, you know, because Ken's identity is entirely tied into Barbie. So yeah, again, Barbie and Ken, they're supposed to be a romantic couple because that's what they've been marketed as. And so when you just have Barbie being friend zoning Ken, he's starting to feel inadequate. All the Kens are feeling inadequate. But yeah, so they managed to covertly start deprogramming all the Barbies and using them as decoys to throw the Kens off, and then lure the Kens in by basically turning them all on each other and making it seem like the Kens are trying to steal, one set of Kens is trying to steal the other set's of Kens Barbies, and I think you get the idea. So and the business executives arrive as this giant fight amongst the Kens breaks out. And because of that, they don't forget to vote in the election, so Barbie Land is spared. But then afterwards, Ken just get in, and Ken kind of realizing his mistake and running upstairs, runs and starts crying, and Barbie has to take him aside and say, "Listen, you're not wrong in the sense that I was not considerate of your feelings, and I should have been, and I apologize for that." Like, yeah, again, you're supposed to fall in love with a guy, but you're not supposed to drag them along. If you're not interested, but you're not supposed to just say, "I'm not interested," because that hurts their feelings. And he says, "Listen, I think of you as a friend. I don't think of you in a romantic way because we're dolls, we're not real." In fact, there is a joke early on in the movie about, yeah, they don't have genitals. Yeah, we're just blobs under here. And so, squaring away, and it's like, you need to try to find your own identity without me. And, not that I won't be here for you, there won't be Barbies here for you to help you, but, we need to try to find it, you have to try to find it without them. And then it comes to the business executives who, again, just want Ken and Barbie to get married, and they're like, "No, we're not doing that anymore." And earlier in the film, while Barbie was writing for the Mattel executives, she hid out in a room where it turns out the original creator of Barbie, Ruth Handler, her spirit is being kept. It's played by Rhea Perlman. And, Ruth appears once again and says, exactly, like, I didn't set out to make Barbie the ideal woman. I just wanted her to be the ideal doll toy. Again, like, if you've seen the trailer at the beginning, the teaser trailer, where it's like the 2001 parody, where it's, the only dolls were babies. And exactly, it's like, then Barbie came along, it's like, no, here's a woman doll for you to identify with as you're growing up, because you don't always want to play with baby stuff. Yeah, so yeah, not everything has to be tied to that. Like, I wanted you to be, the ideal, I hesitate to say ideal, but yeah, I never meant for you to be the ideal standard for beauty or the ideal standard for this. I wanted you to just be the ideal toy for a girl growing up. Yeah, exactly, who wanted to move beyond playing with baby stuff and playing with stuff that set them more on a proper course in life. Yeah, it's like, but you got even bigger than that. You're your own person now. And so with that, the stereotypical Barbie elects to leave Barbie Land and be a real person. And it ends with her finally going to the gynecologist. Yeah, like, I would have gotten more into a lot of the humor, but that would just be explaining the jokes. In fact, I probably did explain too many of the jokes, but yeah. So yeah, that's the overall story with Barbie. Like I said, if there is, the problem I have with it is that, the Ken's subplot, well, it's decent. I wish there was a little bit more bite to it. Like, there should have been, like, not necessarily the Ryan Gosling Ken, but maybe one of the other Kens should have been a little more vitriolic, I think, and a little more fearsome, where it's like, where Ken needs to step back, where Ryan Gosling's Ken needs to step back and say, "Oh, wait, yeah, we're doing bad things here." Like, I don't think we need to go in, like, full territory, but, yeah, where it's just like, okay, wait, we're going too far, maybe we do need to dial it back a bit. Yeah, like, there should have been something to say, like, oh, wait, I'm heading down this road. And, maybe, again, when Barbie and Ken have their heart-to-heart talk, that it makes a bit more sense. And like I said too, it gets a little repetitive towards the end, where it's just kind of like, okay, you've said this like 14 times, get to the point. But other than that, yeah, there's, like I said, it's really fun. It's really well written. Great performances all around. It's possibly the best performance I've seen Ryan Gosling give. Granted, I've only seen like 4 of them. Yeah. But it's definitely like the most emotion I think he's put into any type of role. Playing a Ken doll, a literal Ken doll. But yeah, like I said, really good humor throughout it. A good story arc. Again, reframing Barbie to, not say like, no, we're not trying to say this is a stand for beauty. We're trying to, how do you change the idea of what Barbie means in a world that's just changing? Sorry, the cat decided she needed to interject. Yes, I know. Anyway, so yeah, you should go see Barbie. It's really fun.
J'adore la danse. Barbie, oh Barbie. Woo! Danse disco. Oh Barbie disco. En jean. Et fléau. En concert disco avec tes amis cette nuit, c'est magique. Dans la nuit tu brilles. Barbie. Woo! Barbie, je vis ta vie. Barbie disco, en cadeau la cassette disco par Mattel.
You've got the longest hair ever.
Totally hot, totally cool, totally hair Barbie. Comb it out, add some depth, gel it, scrunch it, now you're set. Make it fun, make it now. Hair so long, it's totally wow. Totally hair, totally hot, totally cool, totally hair Barbie. You've got something special. Wow.
Totally Hair Barbie doll has blonde or brunette hair down to her toes and comes with depth styling gel. Dolls each sold separately.
Okay, trailer time. We had 7 trailers again. We had Migration, Wish, Paw Patrol, The Mighty Ones, or Mighty Pups, or the Paw Patrol sequel. Then Trolls Band Together. Then TMNT Mutant Mayhem. Then Haunted Mansion, the next 2 movies we're reviewing. And then we run it off with Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken, which is kind of weird because that movie came out on June 30th, and it's pretty much on its way out of theaters. Again, I'm not bagging on the movie. I'm sure it was... I've heard a lot of things about it. I know a lot of people were big on it because it's an original property, and we should be probably pushing it more. But yeah, it unfortunately has kind of died at the box office. So yeah, Migration, I think I've covered it once. I'm not sure. It seemed familiar because I knew of it. But yeah, it's about migrating ducks during winter, or on their way flying south for the winter. It's by Illumination, and then obviously Wish is the new Disney one. Trolls 3, Paw Patrol. I guess this is we're trying to rebrand Paw Patrol a little bit, so it's not affiliated with the law enforcement as much anymore because that's gotten into a dodgy circumstance. But yeah, that's kind of about it, really. Not too much to say, more to say than that. So next video is going to be the random trade review on Chew Volume 2. I shot the video parts for that. I need to record the audio. Then we're doing the finale for Secret Invasion, the last 3 episodes of that. I have yet to catch this week's episode. I've been busy. Next theatrical release is Haunted Mansion. Like I said, Mutant Mayhem after that. I don't know why I keep picking movies that are out so close together. I'm going to need to really space these out for the rest of the year because it's getting harder and harder to... the finances are really getting strained a little bit, unfortunately. There's also going to be another video coming up pretty soon because Madden's coming out on the 18th of August, I believe. Coincidentally, the same day as Blue Beetle. But we're going to be doing so, which is the next theatrical movie after Mutant Mayhem. Like I said, Madden's coming out, so there's going to be a video previewing a little bit of Madden there, and going into some of the things that are going to be happening in the channel over the next few months. Like, it's not going to be too serious, but I might have a big house-sitting gig coming up that I will probably have to take care of. Hopefully it won't be too much in the way, though. Again, it's nothing serious. It's overall good. It's just, it's going to be in the way for a bit. See you all next time. Hey guys, remember you can request a movie or a television series for me to review at my Patreon at patreon.com/sleepytime for Cat Productions. Also, remember to like the video, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you can be alerted to further videos.